As much as Nairobi is referred to as the green city under the sun, I love to refer to it as the city of creatives. Every street you walk down bursts with expression. From the iconic matatus, vibrant street murals, craft markets, photography to fashion. One of these art forms that has been making waves lately is fashion. The fashion industry in Kenya has been rapidly growing and evolving over the past decade. As of today, it stands as one of the most dynamic creative sectors. It's a space where innovation meets identity and where cultural heritage blends seamlessly with contemporary style. Behind this momentum are various fashion creatives who have made huge contributions to shaping not just local style but also how Kenya is perceived globally in fashion. This is Fashion in Kanairo, a documentary series that unravels the Kenyan fashion scene, telling the stories of these individuals who are redefining what it takes to dress, express, and create from Nairobi to the world. What's up everyone, I'm Osimbo Shitawa and welcome to Fashion in Kanairo. It's a documentary series whereby I'll be exploring the in-depth of fashion in Nairobi, Kenya. Let's keep it rolling, shall we? The first category I would love to focus on is streetwear. Streetwear fashion is a subculture that emerged in the United States during the late 1980s. It grew out of a hip-hop culture that began in New York before making its way to other states. What started as a DIY movement with graphic tees sold out of car trunks grew into a global cultural force. Various countries worldwide have different interpretations of the style, and in Nairobi, it's no different.
The Nairobi streetwear scene is vibrant. It's young, but it's also like at a tipping point. We are really at a breaking point.
Kenyan streetwear brands are bringing fresh creative energy to the scene. To understand where this movement is headed, we had to start with the ones who have built it from the ground up. One brand that has been pushing boundaries before the culture had a spotlight is Bonkers. The brand started way back in 2012. How did Bonkers start and what inspired the name Bonkers?
It started as a series of mistakes that led us to this idea that then we now consider Bonkers today. It was a logo that was created by a friend of mine, shout out Cora, and that's where the story just mushroomed from.
What are some of the influences that drew you to streetwear?
Definitely Fundi Frank. Fundi Frank is a brand that existed from back then. There was also a lot of American culture, hip hop. The Source magazine was something that really pushed me into thinking about fashion from the perspective that I look at it from.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the Nairobi streetwear scene like when you were starting out?
There really wasn't a Nairobi streetwear scene. I think a scene needs a couple of people for it to exist. And prior to me, the brands that had existed had fizzled out or migrated to other countries to establish themselves there. So prior to me, the only other practicing brand existing is Jamhuri. And that's my OG always.
In the years that followed, a new wave of brands began to rise. The scene at this time was defined by few dominant brands. One of the first to step into the scene was Akiba.
Akiba Studios started in 2020 and it was formed by me. I'm the founder and creative director. The brand started when I was making art. I was making a lot of collage art and I didn't have a way to showcase or sell my products at the time. So I decided to make a fashion brand, and that's when Akiba Studios was born. So I started making t-shirts, printing on my artworks on t-shirts, and then I just developed the brand as I've gone.
So why did you decide to call the brand Akiba?
I decided to call the brand Akiba Studios because I wanted a name that resonates with my African heritage, my Kenyan heritage, and with the philosophies and core values that I have. So when I was choosing Akiba, I was looking to a lot of different names, and it's one that resonated the most. It comes from the Methali Akiba Hayozi, and I felt like my brand, I wanted to create a brand that nurtures and storytelling in that aspect of archiving the Kenyan culture. So I decided to name my brand Akiba, and it's more than a brand, so I decided to also add Akiba Studios, so it becomes more like a lifestyle brand and I can expand and explore more mediums.
At the time, Nairobi Streetwear Scene only had a handful of rising brands. Instead of working in isolation, they chose to come together, and from that collaboration, the concept of Studio 18 was born. So talk to me about the concept of Studio 18. What was your vision when you first came together?
So Studio 18 is a concept store that hosts 4 different brands, all local brands. And when we were starting, we wanted just to create a space for young guys to come learn from us and for us to also collaborate with them. So initially when we started as 3 brands, and we've kind of grown and built a community around that as well. So we've kind of made a space for like fashion and creatives to merge. And yeah, it has grown so much in the past 4 years, and I think it's a blessing.
Yeah, it's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Beyond just fashion, Studio 18 represents a creative movement, one that celebrates music, culture, and community. From this collective space, various fashion events have come to life, each one capturing the essence of Nairobi's streetwear scene. One of the most outstanding ones is the Karibu Nairobi pop-up. The pop-up brings together Kenyan streetwear brands to showcase and sell their pieces. It unfolds in an atmosphere charged with vibrant energy, music, and creative expression. How do you decide on the specific materials, colors, and textures for your designs?
I'm inspired by a lot of like nature. So just going out in nature, traveling, I get to see a lot of like textures, materials and stuff like that. And then when I go to the markets, I look for things that resonate with me and things that I can use to make a constructive piece of work. So yeah, it starts with a lot of like outdoor, and then when I go to the market, I am able to source and find materials that suit the mood that I'm going for.
What are your long-term goals for your brand?
My long-term goals for my brand is to continue creating and experimenting. That's the core of my brand, so I want to continue pursuing that. I want to also build like an ecosystem for young guys to learn from me. So I want to be a lot like mentorship programs. I want to also do a lot of like workshops and just continue expanding the brand to see where I can take it. So far, I'm looking into expanding the brand in terms of the things that we offer. So right now we offer apparel and art, but I want to enter into like things like objects, furniture, and stuff like that. So those are my long-term goals for the brand. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
Another thing you quickly notice in Nairobi's fashion scene is the spirit of collaboration. There's a growing sense of togetherness among designers. So one thing I've noticed about the Nairobi streetwear scene is the aspect of collaboration.
What?
What do you think it's important?
I think our first immediate currency is each other. We don't all have money when we begin these dreams, and so the first point of exchange that we actually can articulate within a community is me being able to exchange with you and using that to grow whatever it is we are intentionally pouring into. And so collaboration then plays a very big part in how marginalized subcultures and communities then are able to grow to a place where then it's financially viable.
Yeah.
But before then, there is no other way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what has been your proudest moment as a brand?
I think for me, my proudest moments happen every other day. When you meet someone who interacted with your brands 10 years ago, and here they are remembering a moment that brand created for them. That for me is all I could really ask for.
Right.
Yeah.
What is the biggest challenge you face as a fashion designer in Kenya?
Definitely systems are not in place for us to grow beyond our hustles. But one thing I also try not to do is to put energy into the negative conversation. So yes, cool, we have struggles here and there, but then also what are the solutions that we have within ourselves to move to the next place, and until things look ideal. There's never a true ideal.
Right.
Yeah.
In the Nairobi streetwear scene, there's a growing sense of consciousness. Beyond bold aesthetics, a number of brands are now deeply rooted in sustainability. From recycled fabrics to upcycled pieces, some of these streetwear brands are proving that style and responsibility can go hand in hand. Take Kenyan.A, for example. He takes pieces once discarded and reworks them into jaw-dropping, one-of-a-kind creations.
My name is Morgan Azedi. I'm a professional designer, a stylist, and a high fashion model.
Can you tell us the story behind Kenyan.A? How did it all begin?
Okay, Kenyan.A started 4 years ago when I finished my college at Ramogi Institute. I did textile in bracket fashion and designing. So Kenyan.A came like this. I'm a Kenyan. I'm a Kenyan designer, and I'm living in Kenya. Then the raw materials I'm using, I'm getting them here in Kenya, in local markets. So I just combined, because I'm a Kenyan, I just used Kenyan, then raw. Raw are the raw materials I'm using that we acquire here.
So one of the things that really defines your brand is how strongly it channels sustainability. What drew you to reworking discarded pieces into your designs?
So, according to me, what I'm doing, I'm trying to do upcycle and recycle of raw materials. So, these materials I'm using, I just go to local markets Then I pick the crazy stuffs I just seen everywhere. I just pick them. Then after picking them, I just come and put them together. Then I make crazy stuff with them.
What materials do you enjoy working with most?
I always use. I love two materials. Number one is leather. You know, leather material it's expensive.
Yeah, true.
Yet then, because of the black color, I love black because I'm also black. Number two, I love working with denim, jeans. You know, jeans is like the future because everywhere, jeans is everywhere.
Yeah, true.
So I like using jeans because it's readily available. Then again, the texture of jeans, it's good when you wear it, you feel comfortable.
Another streetwear brand that's well known for embracing sustainability through a creative lens is Akiba. The brand transformed thrifted pieces into beautiful, wearable art. So can you tell me what the Akiba aesthetic is all about?
Akiba aesthetic is mostly streetwear, having statement pieces, because I believe my pieces are very statementy. Like, it can make a basic outfit become such a unique outfit because of the painting and just the unique silhouette also. And yeah, just being a streetwear sustainable brand for cool people, that's what I'd say.
So how would you describe the Nairobi streetwear scene?
Streetwear is growing. The sustainable streetwear also is growing in Nairobi. So many people, you've even seen the videos you find on TikTok, so many people are dripped down these days, which is so nice to see. And sometimes when you ask people look so expensive, but when you ask them, the outfit is like over 1,000 bob or even under 1,000 bob, meaning we're going secondhand, you know, we're going the sustainable way. Yeah, which is really cool.
At one of the sustainable fashion shows held in Gikomba, Kenyan.A presented some of his latest reworked pieces that blended street culture with conscious design in a way that stood out.
On your right is the brilliant mind behind that beautiful design.
Do you feel like Nairobi has the right systems to support designers working in sustainable fashion?
No. Yes, according to me as a designer, it's a no to me. Because first of all, our government don't support the designers. Then people living in Nairobi also, they don't understand fashion that much. So let me say, when you do upcycling and recycling of raw materials, like they see those things as they are torn out, they're not, the quality are not good. Yeah. Then again, we don't have the industries which support recycling of raw materials. Yeah.
For now, I feel like it's also becoming a big thing. Also because I feel like maybe the pace at which the landfills are also growing and the pace at which we receive bales from like other countries to here, like secondhand clothes, it's definitely becoming a bigger thing. But I feel like we're definitely ready. We've been dressing up in thrifted streetwear for so long.
Yeah, true.
You know, yeah, we're definitely ready and I feel like we're going in a really nice pace, which is very admirable to see. Yeah.
Yeah, true. We are cruising well. From creative, sustainable events to pop-ups that fuse fashion, music, and culture, the Nairobi streetwear scene right now keeps on growing with endless possibilities. What do you love most about the Kenyan streetwear scene right now?
I love the Kenyan streetwear scene currently because I feel like a lot of young brands are coming up, and when we were starting, there were not a lot of like pioneers in the game. There are a lot of guys to teach us. So I'm so happy that I see new brands every day, brands with different aesthetics, catering for different kinds of people, and I'm just happy to see the growth and the industry, how it's continue expanding, and yeah, I'm just excited to see the stories that are going to come from it.
Right now, I can see people are trying. When I go to the street, I see people are wearing crazy stuffs. Then again, we don't judge each other nowadays. You can just wear what you want, and you just do your stuff freely.
The thing I love the most about the Nairobi streetwear scene right now is how bold people are becoming with creating spaces for themselves, not waiting for the big entities to welcome them into spaces. From my personal perspective, it never comes from malicious place. It's just you call the people that you have in proximity or that you are researched about, right? And beyond that, you just don't know, right? And so I think it's dope that I'm seeing people doing pop-ups, I'm seeing people doing fashion films, so that's pretty cool to see.
It's shouting. It's a statement, to be honest. These days I go out and see how people dress. I'm in awe. I'm in awe because people are not afraid to be seen. That's one thing, and I love it so much. We're not afraid to be seen because at this point right now with social media, everyone wants to be seen. Everyone wants to make a statement, you know, because, and then there's cameras everywhere. Everyone wants to look amazing, you know, like in case a camera even gets a glimpse of you, you look amazing. So the streetwear scene right now is very, very, very shouting statement pieces, which I really love. And people are so creative with their outfits also, which I love to see. Yeah.
What gaps do you think are missing in our Kenyan streetwear scene right now?
I'd say infrastructure is one thing. I'd say there's not a lot of like resources for Kenyan designers, or even places where they can create. So I'd say hubs for creatives to explore their ideas, and also resources for them to fund their concepts. I think that's the gaps that I'd say they're missing currently. And yeah, hopefully in the future we have more of those.
One thing I really admire about the Nairobi streetwear scene is how fashion shows aren't just confined in the usual runaways. For example, the streetwear brand Seesaw curated a fashion show at Uhuru Park. While some names have laid the foundation, there's a wave of newer brands stepping up, bold, loud, and impossible to ignore. What inspired you to start Solo Nairobi?
Solo Nairobi came about as just an avenue for me to just express myself through clothing. I had a drive just to make something, and clothes, I started with like making like a t-shirt. That was like the easiest thing, and then my curiosity just grew. I just didn't want to like just make t-shirts, and then now I came up with a whole fashion brand that just makes everything.
So how would you describe the style and vibe of Solo Nairobi?
It's elevated punk streetwear. I say that because it's like this brand called V. It's like an elevated version of like V-Lone. I don't know whether you know that brand. So it's like I'm giving you V-Lone, but like in an elevated, more cleaner streetwear style. It still has the, you know, the sort of like unorthodoxness, or like the, you know, like the rawness of like, you know, the sleeveless t-shirts, just like very, very like, how do you put, like almost like rugged stuff, but then a bit more elevated, a bit more clean cut. Yeah, that's the vibe of Solo Nairobi.
Where do you find your design inspiration from?
Right now, it's not really like about like inspo. Right now, it's more of like I'm studying what people like want, and I'm using that and using my mind or like my taste as a filter to like put out stuff. So it's not really like I'm just like sitting down and waiting for like ideas just to come out of nowhere. I'm studying what are people like messing with right now. Not that I'm following trends, but it's like what are the things that have been timeless for like the past like 5 years? What are the things that people in Nairobi wish they had but they don't have? And then using now my taste as Nigel myself as a creative now, and just translating that in my own way and then making something from that. Yeah, so it's not really about inspo right now. Inspo is good, but I don't think like it's reliable, because I think like for like last year I was just sitting down for like the whole year waiting for an inspo, and I only got an inspo in November after a whole year. So at times, sometimes that I'd say it's like an angel of inspiration, or like yeah. So I don't think it's like reliable to wait for an angel to come and put ideas in your head, because you also need to run a business. You need to be consistent throughout the year. You can't just be waiting for inspo just to come out of nowhere. Yeah, you need to sit down and do the work. Yeah.
As the streetwear scene in Nairobi keeps growing, Studio 18 marks another step forward as they opened a second branch at Nairobi Street Kitchen. The new store added 2 new brands additional to their original brands. What does being part of Studio 18 mean for your brand?
It means my brand is growing. It means my people are confident to even bring my brand in their store. It means my brand is actually going towards the right direction. And it's really a proud moment for me, because before I even started my brand, I used to be with Studio 8. I used to model for them. Yeah, modeling was my career before I even started all this for myself. I used to model for them. But then I was also sightseeing, seeing how these people are doing. They're running their own brand, things like that, which I was exposed to before I started my own thing. Yeah, so it means my brand is growing. It means I'm going towards the right direction, and I'm so thankful people even believe in me right now to even include me in such a big store, Yeah, and it's been going so well. We've been there for 2 weeks now. Amazing.
Yeah. The creative energy in Nairobi streetwear scene is wild. Looking at it today, there's no doubt the future holds something special. If you were to envision the future of the Kenyan streetwear scene in the next 10 years, what do you think it will look like?
I think in the next 10 years, the future looks bright, because I feel a lot of guys are channeling self-expression and creating pieces or ideas or concepts that resonate with the African continent as a whole. And I'm excited to be part of it and to also see it grow and mature into something beautiful for East Africans or Africans to continue telling their stories.
It's definitely gonna have grown so much, and I hope that us who are starting it for them right now, I'm hoping they're gonna be running the streetwear aesthetic or streetwear brands so well, you know, like we're gonna be looking back and being like, we worked for them to run, you know. It's gonna, and I pray that sustainability is also still gonna be a thing, because the world is, to be honest, is going to shit sometimes, but I'm just praying that we're gonna hold on to our culture also. That's also one thing that I love about streetwear now, is at some point it's streetwear, but we're also embracing our African culture, and I'm really hoping that people are still gonna hold on to that, because sometimes we get corrupted with the Western views. We really can't avoid it right now with social media and everything. We really get corrupted with them. But I'm hoping even in 10 years, we're still gonna embrace our African cultures, our African fabrics, things like that. Like even Akiba, the way he prints with like batik, things like that. These are things our ancestors used to do. And I'm just praying we're gonna be able to hold on to that.
When you go to like a streeting event, there's so many kids there who are just like so inspired. So way more brands, because I know these kids are gonna like go ahead and just create their own brands in the future. You know, the brands that are, you know, sort of like emerging right now will at that time, you know, really mature well in terms of just like having like their own stores and everything, or like very solid websites, very solid distribution platforms, and just like a huger community, a huger respect for a larger appreciation for what is happening, more people consuming what we're doing.
It's gonna be global. We'll stop talking about it as a Nairobi streetwear scene, but we'll just be people that come from Kenya and are telling Kenyan stories. I don't think it's fair to limit what is happening within the borders of Kenya to Nairobi. Yeah.
Immersing myself in the Nairobi streetwear fashion scene was like going on an artistic excursion. I got to learn about its evolution from the raw beginnings a decade ago to the vibrant force it has become today. Without a doubt, it's a movement to watch.